Here is the module specification of the module Principles of Accounting. Module code BA1102. In this module specification, you can see there are 5 MILOs and each MILO have their own weightage or weightings. And then you have different assessments. For each of these assessments, they cover different MILOs and they also have their weightings. So what I want to do is, for each of these assessments, we want to see what is the percentage or what is the weighting per MILO. For example, class test 1, how much weighting has to go for MILO 1, how much for MILO 2, how much for 3 and 5. Similarly, we want to do for other assessments as well. In order to do this, we are going to use an Excel file called as weightage calculator. In this weightage calculator, the steps to follow are this. Keep the weightage calculator with you. Along with it, you also have your module spec. From the module spec, copy all these MILO descriptions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and just paste them here in the table 1. Once you have done this table 1, you just scroll into table 2. Please don't touch these weightings here or weightage here. You don't need to do anything here. Then moving on to table 2, just scroll down to in the module spec to the assessments, and here you see class test 2. There are 2 class tests. So we will go here and mention class test 1, class test 2. So here we are going to write each individual assessment separately and then mention what are the MILOs it is covering. These ones you can exactly take it from here, from the module spec. Then there is one assignment which is with MILO 4. So you can go here, mention one assignment, MILO 4, and there's an university examination which covers MILO 2, 3, and 5. Plus you have the weightings here, which is 30, 20, 50. Because there are 2 tests, I would say both the tests are of 10 and 15, 15 each. You can say 15 each. You can also make it 10, 20 according to what you prefer. And the assignment is 20 and the university examination is 50 now. So once you have done this, you got to distribute the values or the score in each of these weightings into these tests. For example, class test 1. If the class test 1 is for 100 marks, how much percentage will go for MILO 1, how much for MILO 2, MILO 3 and MILO 5. There is no MILO 4 because MILO 4 is not mentioned here. So I would mention 0 here for MILO 4. Similar for class test 2, there is no MILO 4. I'm going to mention 0 here. Assignment only has MILO 4. So I'm going to mention 0 for 1, 2, 3 as well as 5. Because it is 4 only, it should be 100%. So 100% of the assignment should go to MILO 4. And then when you take the university examination, which is mapped to MILO 2, 3 and 5, so MILO 1 and MILO 4 will be 0 because it's not there. So now I'm going to distribute. Let's say I say MILO 1 is 25, MILO 2 is 25, 3 is 25, 5 is 25. I'm saying each one has equal share, right, out of 100. Is it necessary to be equal share? Not necessary. It depends on how you want to frame your questions, how is the distribution of the MILO in that class test or assessment. Similar, class test 2. Similarly, I've done the assignment which is basically 100% to MILO 4. And then there's a university examination. You have 2, 3, 5. So I will mention like 30, 25, whatever it is, the number should be 100 here. So let's say if I write here 24, it'll become a different color to show you, it's a red color to show you it should be 100. Okay, so make it 100. This is important here. Number 1, make sure it is 100 here. So once this is done, this is a sample distribution I have done. Okay, once you have done, you will see these weightages will vary. Now there are 2 things to check here. These weightage should match what is in your program spec, should match this one here. Okay, in the MILO weighting should exactly match it here. Number 2, their sum should be 100. In my case, it is 105. So there's an issue here. There's something wrong here. This is not a feasible distribution. I've done something wrong here. So let's assume I'm going to make some more changes here. I'm going to do a trial error basis right now. My class test 1 is only in MILO 1 and 2, covers only MILO 1 and 2. Class test 2 covers 3 and 5. Is this okay to do this? It is okay because according to my module specification, two class tests is of 1, 2, 3 and 5. So I'm saying class test 1 covers 1 and 2, class test 2 covers 3 and 5. Now I need to change things here accordingly. So there is no 3 here, there is no 5 here, there is no 1 here, there is no 2 here. So let's say both of them cover 50% here. So if I say 50-50, so that's fine. Here 3 is 50, 5 is 50. So if I do this, is this okay? Did it change my elements here? It still has 105. Okay, there's something wrong here. So I'll go back and compare with this. Now I see here MILO 5 is 35, MILO 3 is 25. Okay, if I go down here, MILO 3 is 20, MILO 5 is 30. So there is something missing there. Plus MILO 1 and 2 are 10 each here. But if you see MILO 2 is very high. Okay, there's a problem with MILO 2. So let me try to reduce the MILO 2 weightage in the university examination. Let's say I make it as 20%. If I make it 20%, right, I still need to include somewhere else. This is 100. This is fine now, but this is not fine. I need to make it 100 here. So let's assume I increase, right, from 25 to 35 for MILO 3. Let's see what happens. Again, the issue comes in. MILO 2 did not reduce. I'm unable to reduce the MILO 2 here, right? So I keep trying. I'm still stuck. It's not giving me an answer. Maybe I would say first test is of 10 marks, second test is of 20 marks. Does it work? Still it did not work out. So I can try to increase this. Okay, play all these numbers, right? Still it's not satisfying what I want. So this is where you got stuck. So what happens? You got a module spec. You got the weightage for each MILO. You also got the distribution for the assessments. But for each individual assessment, you don't know how many percentage or how much has to go for MILO 1 or 2 and so on. This is something you might be struck with. So you can't distribute your class test into MILO 1, MILO 2, MILO 3 and so on, assignment and whatsoever. So if you are struck with this problem, how to solve it now? Okay. So number one step, we are going to have what is called as a program which is called as weightage calculator. Or it's called mark distribution Python code. It's a Python code. This code, what it does is you get two inputs in this code. This is a Python code. I will share this code to you. This code has two parts here. One is this, the second one is this. There's input file and there's an output file. Please make sure you have the input file present in the same folder. Okay, should be in the same folder. Here is input file. And your output file is this. So what is the input file? Let's see the input file. The output and the input files are both Excel files. So I'm going to open up the input file here. So this is my input file. So if you go into the input file, it says number of MILOs, which is 5 here. For each of these MILOs, I say the distribution. This is basically coming from my module spec. If you go here, you find it is 10, 10, 25, 20 and 35. The same thing I have entered here. There are 4 assessments. Why 4 assessments? Because there are 2 class tests, 1 assignment, 1 university exam. So 4 assessment, class test 1, class test 2, assignment, examination. So if class test 1 covers MILO 1, 2, 3 and 5, I would say S to MILO 1, MILO 2. So this is for MILO 1, this is for MILO 2, this is for MILO 3, MILO 4, MILO 5. And you also mention the weightage here. Okay. So weightage is 15-15 because the total weightage for the class test is 30. Right. Once you have done this, so you have done 15, 15, 20, 50 and you have filled all these things. Okay. So this is exactly coming from the module spec. You have done this. Now go back to the Python code. I'm going to run the Python code here. So this is my Python code. Right, I'm going to run this. Once I run, it's going to calculate for me how could it distribute the values. So here is my output file. How do I know this is my output file? If you go back to the code, this is the name of the file. You can change it. So accordingly, it will also generate the file. Please make sure you don't have this file opened while running the code. Okay, because it won't be able to save the entry into that file. So you should not open it. Once the code is done, I'm going to open this file. So I open this file right now. Look at this. The first part in this code is exactly same as what you have in the input file. This is the same here, no difference. So the output comes here. So it says here, you can distribute like this. Class test 1, MILO 1 is 5 marks, MILO 2 is minus 1 mark, MILO 3 is 4 mark, MILO 5 is 7 mark, and so on. Is it possible to allocate minus 1? So by this indication, you know already this has no solution. If you have this distribution, you have no solution in this case. Even if you try different approaches, you won't get a solution. Okay. So what should I do now if I don't have a solution? Right? You need to make some changes. Let's try to make the change which we tried in the calculator. Meaning class test 1 is 1 and 2. Class test 2 is 3 and 5. Let's try that. So class test 1 has 1 and 2 MILOs mapped. Class test 2, it has 3 and 5 mapped. So let's save this file. The input file, you have modified it. I've also closed the output file now. I'm going to run the code once more time. Okay. Let's see what happens. So it is running it now. You got an output. Go back. Open that file. So now let us see how it goes. So this is the output file I have. The first part is same as my inputs. As you see, class test 1 is mapped to MILO 1 and 2. Class test 2 is mapped to 3 and 5. So now look at this. Okay, so you need to understand this carefully. Here, MILO 1, okay, is mapped to 10 marks. MILO 2 is mapped to 10. MILO 3 is mapped to 25. MILO 4 is 20. MILO 5 is 35. Is that what you want from your module spec? Look at this. Yes, it matches there. And is there any negative, anything which is not possible? No issues. So this is a valid assignment. So valid assessment weightage. If I'm going to have a class test 1, I have MILO 1 mapped to 10 marks. MILO 2 mapped to 5 marks. Class test 2, MILO 3 mapped to 10 marks. MILO 5 mapped to 10 marks. Assignment, there's only one assignment. It is 20 marks assignment. It's completely mapped to MILO 4. And examination, there is 5 marks for MILO 2, 20 marks for MILO 3, and 25 for MILO 5. Right? If you total this way, you will see it should be 50. Right? Exactly matching this number. Examination is for 50 marks. Each one, if you check, 20 marks for assignment. Class test 2 is for 15, class test 1 for 15. It should also match the MILOs. If you count the column wise, you will see it matches the MILO weightage. As the MILO weightage matches, also the assessment weightage matches, this distribution is correct. So here is the scenario, it's a summary. You are given a module spec which has the MILOs and the weightage. You also have the assessments and their weightage, but you don't know in a specific assessment what is the distribution of marks per MILO. To calculate that, we have a weightage calculator. You can try to do it. If it is easier for you and you got the answer, well and good. How do you know how you get the answer? The weightage that is calculated by the weightage calculator should match what is in the module spec, and the total should be 100. If not, you can use the code. In that you have an input Excel file. This is exactly coming from your module spec, and then you can get your output from the code itself. You have to run the code at the command prompt using this python space markdistribution.py. It is in the same folder. You must have the input file, and the output file will also be generated in the same folder. Thanks for listening. I hope it makes your process easier. Thank you.